In a shocking incident from Pennsylvania, former Harrisburg District Judge Sonia McKnight was convicted of attempted murder after shooting her boyfriend, Michael McCoy, in the head while he slept. The story began when McCoy, who had been in a year-long relationship with McKnight, decided to end the relationship and asked her to move out of his home. She refused, and despite him taking away her key, she remained in the house. On the night of February 9th, 2024, McCoy came home to find McKnight on his couch in her pajamas. After telling her they would discuss things the next morning, McCoy went to sleep around 11 p.m. However, a few hours later, he woke up in intense pain, unable to see. He heard McKnight asking, "Mike, what did you do to yourself?" McCoy had been shot in the head, near his right eye. Despite the severity of the injury, McCoy survived and was rushed to the hospital, where he insisted to the EMTs that he hadn't shot himself and was not suicidal. He pleaded for his life, urging them to save me. The only other person in the home that night was McKnight. When police arrived, McKnight claimed she heard McCoy screaming but didn't know what happened. However, investigations quickly uncovered evidence that contradicted her story. McKnight's gun was found at the scene, and gunshot residue was detected on her hands and clothes. Moreover, surveillance footage showed McKnight leaving the house that evening, despite her earlier claims to the contrary. McKnight was arrested and released on $300,000 bail. The trial, which began over a year later, revealed key details about the case. Prosecutors argued that McKnight shot McCoy while he slept, possibly attempting to stage the scene to look like a suicide. Meanwhile, the defense claimed that just because McKnight was the only other person in the house didn't mean she was the shooter, suggesting the possibility of reasonable doubt. A significant part of the prosecution's case relied on the testimony of several witnesses who heard McCoy repeatedly state that he wasn't suicidal. Although hearsay evidence could have been problematic, these statements were admitted under exceptions to the hearsay rule, such as the excited utterance and state of mind exceptions, which allowed the jury to hear McCoy's statements made in distress right after being shot. The forensic evidence also played a crucial role. Both McKnight and McCoy had gunshot residue on their hands, but there was more on McCoy, which the defense pointed to as evidence that he could have shot himself. However, forensic experts testified that McKnight had washed her hands before they were tested for residue, casting further doubt on her claims. One of the most damning pieces of evidence was McKnight's actions after the shooting. She initially failed to call 911 when McCoy asked her to, and even led him to the furthest bathroom on the second floor, potentially delaying medical help. The police later discovered she had dropped an item of clothing that she had tried to flush down a toilet, suggesting she may have been attempting to tamper with evidence. The trial was brief, lasting only 2 days, but the evidence was overwhelming. McCoy's testimony about his near-death experience and McKnight's subsequent actions were central to the case. He recounted his last conversation with McKnight, where she questioned if he was serious about ending the relationship. Later, when he woke up to find himself blind and in pain, he realized he had been shot. The victim's emotional testimony had a powerful impact on the jury, leading to McKnight's conviction for attempted murder. This case highlights the complexities of a criminal trial when the accused is someone with professional stature, like a judge. The court took steps to avoid conflicts of interest, such as appointing a prosecutor from a different county and ensuring the jury was impartial. Despite these efforts, McKnight's actions, lies, and the physical evidence pointed to her guilt. Judge Brandon Birmingham, a guest on the Sidebar show, emphasized the importance of transparency in forensic testimony and the need for jurors to understand the significance of physical evidence. He also discussed how McKnight's position as a judge may have influenced her actions and how her attempts to cover up the crime only added to the evidence against her. The case raises important questions about the integrity of judges and the consequences of their actions. McKnight's conviction serves as a reminder that no one is above the law, not even those who hold positions of power in the justice